are now tuned into DAR Sports Media. It's the NFL wrap-up. Me and my guy Tay are in here, and it's poignant that he's here this week because it's getting really real. Tay, the Jets fucking suck, and they just fired their GM this week. They are fucking horrendous, and it is a sinking ship. Talk to us about your Jets, man.
They still got time. They got to win out, man. I believe in it. They they got the bye week. You know, they got to go to this bye week, get some rest, get some much needed rest. You know, figure things out and go on a win streak.
Much needed rest. Much needed rest.
Yeah, it's still possible. They got a pretty easy schedule going down. Yeah, I think they're still possible. They have a chance.
Lee Harvey, the Jets fired their GM. Jets fired their GM. They're looking as stanky as ever. Tay's holding out hope. What are your thoughts?
Holding out hope for what?
Playoffs all the way, baby.
They're going to the playoffs. Win streak.
What?
Right after this bye week, much needed bye week. They've been playing hard. Been playing great football. They need this.
Yeah, no team needs a bye week more than them, but I can't see it. I can't see it. I mean, their defense gotten so much worse post Salah getting fired. What was it? The first 5 drives of last week's game, they were struggling to get a first down. I don't know. I can't see.
Aaron Rodgers looking as washed as a newborn baby in the sink. It is fucking looking tough out there. The other biggest story after we get done dragging Tay up and down the block is the Chiefs finally, these annoying motherfuckers finally. Oh, I enjoyed it. Had their first loss. The Buffalo Bills took them out. Our overall DAR top 10 now has the Chiefs down at number 3. The Lions and Bills ranked above them. It was a fucking beautiful thing. I was happy to see it. The Chiefs finally, their fucking black magic, their voodoo behind the fucking curtains, it finally wore out. The Chiefs go down to the Bills. Tay, thoughts on what did your top 3 look like? Do you have the Bills and Lions above the Chiefs at this point? Or, what are your thoughts on what happened this weekend with the Chiefs?
I still think the Chiefs are the best team. I still do. Gosh. Their wins don't look as pretty, but why would they not be the best team? We already know when it comes down to end of the game, who's gonna win. They got the best quarterback. They got the best coach. They have the roster. Their roster construction is perfect. They have one of the best D tackles in the league. I don't see how you can put another team over them. I think if you don't have the Chiefs won, it's more of a voters fatigue kind of thing. Why wouldn't the Chiefs be number 1? I mean, come on. They were in the last team remaining for undefeated. They lost to another great team. They don't have any bad losses like the Lions. Lions lost to the Bucks. It's kind of like voters fatigue. I do understand it. I almost did it too, but there's no reason why the Chiefs shouldn't be one. They lost to a good team. All these other teams, they have bad losses and whatnot. Yeah, the Chiefs are still my number 1 team.
What do you think there, Lee Harvey? I can't remember if your individual rankings, if you had them moved down as well. What are your thoughts on where the Chiefs rank now in the power rankings?
Yeah, I had him at 3 as well.
Yeah, that a boy. That man knows ball. That's why.
Yeah, but like, why? Like, I understand. Like, but like, I feel like you're just falling under the like voters fatigue. Like, why aren't they better than I would
Because
assume the
all their
Lions and
wins
Bills?
are some fucking cheap bullshit, and the Lions wins are whipping the fuck out of people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and
like,
I'm
if they match up.
You sound like the CFP. You're talking about quality losses and shit. I'm looking at
Yeah,
the wins.
that
The
matters.
Lions are beating
Yeah,
the fuck
yes.
out of people.
Yeah, the Lions.
Bills
The
beat them?
best team isn't losing to the Bucks. I'm not. No, the best team isn't losing to the Bucks.
Oh my
Not
gosh,
doing
dude.
that.
Disrespect.
They haven't-
Disrespect to the
like-
Buck. NFC South champions, reigning, defending.
Yeah, and you know who beat the Bucks? The Chiefs. Like that's like I'm not. Nah. It's
in
more than the team.
overtime.
You understand it? I don't have a reason to hate the Chiefs.
Yeah, in overtime, exactly,
My
motherfuckers.
team has sucked for 40 years, so I don't have a reason to hate the Chiefs. But I do get it. Like if the Chiefs have ever been in your way, like I would hate the Chiefs too, but there's no reason to. They're the best team in the league. Like we already know that when they go to the playoffs, they're gonna run through everyone in the playoffs. They're gonna go back to the Super Bowl. We already know that they've done it for the past how many years? Like we got to stop counting them out. Like how you can't how you couldn't count Brady out and whatnot. Like people probably put the Patriots as the 8th best team, but like they were the best. Like it's the same thing. We just keep them at number 1 because they're the best team. They're gonna keep being the best team until something in the Chiefs has to change. But until then, they got all their guys there. They're the best team in the league.
Speaking of teams that have sucked for 40 years, you know, our guy, Lee Harvey, he still shows up every week. The Cleveland Browns are fucking sweaty, chalky ass cheeks. And he's still on here every week. My fucking 49ers team is in a death spiral of the most painful fucking type. But you will notice when good things happen for the Ravens, we can barely fit all the Ravens fans onto this show. It's overflowing with them. But when this fucking Steelers result, when the Steelers came in there and slapped them across the mouth this weekend, look at us. We got no Ravens fans on the show tonight. God damn it. Okay. I know you were enjoying yourself this weekend. You know, it's funny because we joked last week about how, you know, these games are always 13-6 and they're fucking entertaining, you know, people knocking the shit out of each other. And then we joked, oh, well, it ain't going to be that way this year. And then it fucking was. It was an old school Ravens Steelers games, lots of big hits, a lot of shit talking. Tay, I know you're feeling good because the Ravens got smacked in the mouth. And Lamar Jackson, another opportunity, big game, big spotlight. Didn't do a fucking goddamn thing. On the same weekend when Goff goes out there and throws for damn near 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. Tell me about the Steelers and Ravens game.
It was boring. Bunch of field goals. Like, you know, I'm not interested in games like that. Like, I watched it. It was in a rotation. I'm not interested in games like that. Like, I'm past that. I want the score to be 50-55. I'd much rather that than the kicker seeing who's better. Like, I don't want to watch that. I'm good. And then on top of that, Justin Tucker, he sucks. Like he, like, I kept trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but nah, he actually sucks. Like they need to look for a kicker, like before a playoff. They need to get a kicker before they get to the. They need to have some trials or something. He is not good. Like I know he's the GOAT, but this season he sucks. It's time to move on. You know he's getting old. They got to do something about that too, because a lot of Ravens fans I talk to are blaming it on Justin Tucker. I do think that's not fair. You know, well, you shouldn't be able to rely on him, but also I think touchdowns do matter as well. Like we know you got to get to the end zone, so you shouldn't need your kicker. Honestly, that's how
I mean that's a couple weeks ago, and we'll get there. But a couple weeks ago, everybody was screaming about Jake Moody. So I don't know. How about the fucking 49ers offense executes for one fucking week this year? And stop putting it on the goddamn kicker. Same thing with the Ravens. I'm 100% with you. I don't want to hear nothing about a fucking kicker. Like, execute your fucking offense. Jesus Christ.
Right.
Lee Harvey, thoughts on our game of the week last week? 2 divisional opponents beating the shit out of each other. Big bully Ravens going down.
Well, as someone who is a fan of a team for the AFC North, I'm born off of watching games like this. So I'm so entertained whether it's less than 20 points between the two teams or if they do go over 20. Um, it's fascinating to see that the Steelers had the blueprint to stop or
Yeah,
contain
yeah,
Lamar Jackson, but when he go against other AFC teams or if he plays against the NFC, got other defenses have no clue how to stop him. It's always in division, and especially that one team in Pittsburgh that has all the answers. And and
crazy.
and and the fact that they didn't feed Derrick Henry, that that to me that shouldn't have happened. They're 0-4 when he has less than 20 carries. That can't happen.
Yeah, in a close game too, like that, in a close, hard hitting game like that. I gotta question that.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if their coach was a play caller, huh, Tay?
Yeah, man, useless out there. He's just the number one cheerleader, man.
What else? What else stood out to you this weekend, Tay?
Anthony Richardson. You know, we've been
Yeah,
dragging him across the
yeah.
carpet. He had a good game.
Hell yeah, he
Had a good
did.
game. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, this is
I mean, he
is
was
the
playing against the
turnaround.
sorry ass Jets, but
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
he
but
did have
nah,
a
he
fucking
just
good
had a
ass
bad
game.
game. But you know, I definitely want to just shout him out. He been getting dragged on too much, so he definitely had a good game. For sure, especially after getting the spot back, you kind of needed that. That's a confidence booster right there.
Yeah,
Your team, benches you, you come back, and yeah, and then also the Bills. The Bills are a really good team. I don't think people had the Bills being this good. I had the Bills in the playoffs,
no,
but 9-2.
yeah, me neither.
They one of the best teams in the league. Like I said, like I'm pretty sure I did say it, but you got Josh Allen. They're gonna go to the playoffs every single year. Like if you have Mahomes, Lamar, and Josh Allen, those are the three guys. Like you're gonna go to the playoffs every single year. I thought it was Joe Burrow, but I guess the defense is just too bad. But yeah, you got one of those elite quarterbacks. You're booked into the playoffs automatically. Your season's gonna continue past the regular season for sure.
Lee Harvey, what stood out to you this weekend?
The Chargers uncharger.
Okay, yeah,
They have
that was going to be mine. What stood out to me? Go ahead. Obviously,
uh,
in
uh
addition to the 49ers.
yeah, yeah. Um had that 27-6 lead. They looked like a top three team in the AFC, and then Cincinnati came all the way back. And then at the end, it seemed like neither team wanted to win until the Chargers got the ball last, and Justin Herbert made two excellent throws downfield, and J.K. Dobbins finished it off. You should win comeback player of the year easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
And
Ricky Pearsall, maybe.
yeah,
But yes.
but yeah, and Cincinnati, man, that's another tough loss. McPherson had two shots at least taking the lead and missed both of them.
McPherson used to be the coldest motherfucker out there. He had
Yeah,
that year when they made the Super Bowl run, he couldn't fucking be stopped. He was making clutch field goals every fucking week.
and you know what's funny? All four NFC North kickers: Hopkins, McPherson, Boswell, and Tucker. Three out of
Oh,
four
losing their
missed
goddamn
crucial.
minds.
All three out of four kickers missed crucial kicks. The only one who did, Boswell.
Yeah, Chris Boswell's nasty. That was going to be my standout because making their debut in the DAR top 10, but with a big splash, they're all the way up at number 7. All of a sudden, number 7. All of a sudden, we all really love this Chargers team, and I think that's not something that we're alone in. We warned you at the beginning of the season. Harbaugh, it usually doesn't take long, man. He turns programs around. They got a top 5 quarterback. The defense is playing out of their fucking minds, and they don't even have Khalil Mack. A lot of no-name players on the defense as well, but they're fucking killing it. The running game, they have probably, I meant to look, I didn't, but I remember looking at the PFF grades when they were debuting. Every one of their offensive linemen is in the top 20 of their position in PFF. They have probably, including rookie Joe Alt, who is going to be a sleeper. Obviously, he's not going to win it because he's not a player who puts up numbers. Joe Alt is the number 4 offensive tackle in the NFL per PFF. Joe Alt's having a fucking amazing rookie season. The Chargers have arguably the best offensive line in the league, and they look pretty fucking serious, like a pretty serious contender. I'm really excited to see them down the stretch. Quentin Johnston, who I fucking loved as a prospect coming out, I could not understand why he was just god-awful through his first few years in the NFL. He's finally starting to come together. Your guy, Ladd McConkey, is fucking nasty, is looking like he's going to have 1,000-yard season. Everything's working over there for the Chargers, and the arrow was up. Quentin Johnston is just now coming into his own. Ladd McConkey's getting better every week. This defense is doing great, and they don't even have Khalil Mack. This Chargers team, man, dangerous. Dangerous. Might develop into the team that nobody wants to see come playoff time. What do you think their take?
I'm not really a believer in the Chargers. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god. But you're over there talking about the fucking Jets still. Okay.
I'm just not. Like, yeah, their O-line is really good, but I think when it's time to step up, I think their weapon room will shrink. Like, I don't think they have the guys to, I don't think they have the guys to just go out there and really perform. Like, I think they'll have trouble on offense. Like, I think they're gonna make their weapons they're gonna make their weapons go out there and win it from. They're gonna stack the box because you already know the Chargers are gonna run the ball, and Herbert can make the passes, but I think their weapon room isn't strong enough just yet for me to be scared of the Chargers. Like, yeah, they're a good team, but they're not at that scary point. I don't think. Like, I don't know. It's just
I do agree. I think they're one serious weapon away from.
They are
from being a competitive team.
Yeah,
they had
this season
somebody the caliber of like a Amon-Ra St. Brown or a Brandon Ayuk or guys of that. They just had one of those types of guys that they would be. It'd be real fucking dangerous. Lee, what do you think, man? The Chargers making the debut, jumping in there.
Yeah. I'm a believer because they have a guy who's known to turn programs around in the NFL, Harbaugh. When he first turned 49ers around, it didn't take him long to make the NFC Championship game and then eventually a Super Bowl. I don't think it will happen this year, but I'll give it like a year or two, and the Chargers may see them end up a Super Bowl contender.
Well, of course, the last thing I got to cover for what stood out this week, and obviously is also what I'm looking forward to or not looking forward to for the weekend. Let's all just bow our heads. We'll make a mac and cheese bake and a casserole and some ribs for the after meal. We'll all just bow our heads for the ceremonial burying of this era of the San Francisco 49ers, because it is fucking over. It is fucking over. That might have been one of the most just fucking god-awful performances by an offensive line I've ever fucking seen in my life. 6 penalties, numerous pressures. I counted at least 4 plays where people were getting driven into the backfield right off the fucking snap in the running game. You can't run block. You're getting penalties. Colton McKivitz, motherfucker. I said this last year. No team with Super Bowl aspirations has that fucking guy starting at right tackle. And he's there again. And he single fucking handedly took points off the board, getting a penalty and then giving up a sack on back-to-back fucking plays. Between 6 penalties from the offensive line alone, the negative plays in the run game, giving up sacks, it's like 15 net negative plays from just your offensive line. You're not fucking winning a football game with that. You're just fucking not. The offense, I mean, that's what they're dealing with. The offensive line is setting you back. So therefore the offense was fucking putrid. And then again, everybody takes their turns making their contributions. The offensive line was fucking terrible. You know, people on that final play, well, not the final play, but the play they needed to get a first down to put the game away. Brock Purdy throws the ball high. Deebo Samuel can't get to it. First of all, a lot of people are automatic. Oh, if you want to be a $60 million quarterback, you got to make that throw. First of all, he did make the throw because the replay showed that he threw it about a cunt hair above the outstretched hand of a defensive lineman. So he had to throw it high or would have gotten batted down. Great effort on his part. It's funny how criticism works in a vacuum, because if the ball had gotten batted down, nobody would be saying a fucking thing about Brock Purdy and his prospective contract and any of those fucking things. But he makes a great effort. He tries to make a play to win the game, and now everybody has something to fucking say. I do think it's hilarious that I see a lot of the same people who had an endless supply of excuses for Brandon Ayuk, who is actually getting paid at the top end of his position. But every fucking little thing that Brock Purdy could do better, they're right there to highlight and say, that's not a play a $60 million quarterback. He's not making $60 million yet. So could we at least wait till that happens before we're fucking saying he's a $60 million quarterback? I was glad, though, to on that play to see Deebo jumping up to try to get the ball, because I was starting to question if Deebo Samuel was still alive or if he was on the team still, because I hadn't fucking seen him for the whole rest of the fucking game. Instead of shitting on our quarterback who's making a fucking play, throwing the ball just out of the reach of the defensive lineman, maybe the $20 million wide receiver can make a fucking play with the game on the line. We got $50 million tied up. You want to talk about $50 million, $55 million, $60 million? Well, I can tell you where $50 million is going to. 2 fucking receivers who combined for like 19 scrimmage yards on fucking Sunday. So, great. It's looking like Bosa is probably going to be, I mean, there's been no official report on it, but from what I saw, he's going to be out. And you saw what the defense became the instant he went out, which, by the way, I couldn't believe I saw people fucking shit talking the defense after they made the most clutch stop they made all fucking season. 4th and 1, making that clutch stop, getting the ball back late in the game. There was a 91% win probability for the 49ers after they made that 4th and 1 stop. Defense held the fucking Seahawks to under 100 total yards going into the 4th quarter before Bosa got hurt. I don't want to fucking hear nothing about the defense this week. Kyle Shanahan's supposed to be this fucking offensive genius. The offense looks like shit. The team looks like shit. They play sloppy. The undisciplined play. We're all the way in fucking November. That is a reflection of the coach. The personnel decisions of who's still out on the field. Garbage motherfuckers like Colton McKivitz and Jake Brendel. Jake Brendel is ranked fucking 42 on PFF in among centers. There's only 32 fucking starting centers. But he's still fucking out there. When we got John Feliciano sitting on the fucking bench, who has proven himself to be a solid starter in the past. Your offense ain't producing fucking nothing. When was the last time you saw a play for the 49ers and you're like, oh, fuck, that's an amazing play design? We used to say it all the time. Haven't said it this year. You got CMC coming out off of fucking IR with his whipped legs, getting 99% of the snaps at running back. What are you doing? Personnel decisions, sloppy play design, all of that shit is Kyle Shanahan. All of it. I don't want to hear a goddamn thing about the defense.
I just seen a video from Manti Te'o on Twitter. Back in the preseason, he called your team emotionally drained.
He's right. He's fucking right.
Okay, all right.
Well, emotionally drained is a one way to say it. Just not mentally locked in anymore. Washed up. Lost the intensity. Lost the hunger. Every team, I'll just put it like this, man. Every coach that's been with a team for 8 fucking years, you know what isn't there? The same players. After a while, the same group, the same coach, the same everything. The intensity is going to drop off. And that's clear that's what's happened now. And we have several guys out there who are clearly a year at least past when it's fucking over. We got Kyle Juszczyk out there, the top played fullback in the league. I saw him individually getting fucking whooped on numerous fucking plays. We got to win these next 2 games. We got Green Bay and fucking Buffalo with no Nick Bosa. Kyle, now would be the fucking time to get the offense going again. Because those other offenses are going to be going with no fucking Bosa. Now, I think the pass rush will be better than what it looked like at the end of the game. I think they just got tired. The offense wasn't fucking helping them. They got left out on the field a lot. And they performed very, very well up until that point. Devondre Campbell. There you go. Another fucking personnel decision. D. Winters, our young linebacker, had the highest fucking PFF score of the whole fucking team on Sunday. Guess who wasn't on the fucking field to play when the Seahawks took the lead for good at 12 seconds left? It's DeAndre Campbell's garbage ass not passing off the cross man in the middle over to the next guy in the zone. Therefore, he chased him too far, which gave Geno Smith the fucking edge. That's what fucking happened on that fucking play. Would have been nice to have a linebacker who runs 4.4. You know, like D. Winters, the guy who had the highest fucking PFF score on the whole fucking team. Fuck. There needs to be an overhaul this offseason. It has to happen. Thank God we had looks like we had a pretty spectacular draft this year. So excited about that. It looks like we probably got 4 starting caliber, maybe a couple of Pro Bowlers. Persall looks great. Pooney's going to be a Pro Bowler this year. Mustafa looks awesome. Renardo Green looks fucking awesome. Isaac Garendo has looked fucking good when he's gotten tries. But the rest of the overhaul needs to come this fucking year. And I'm sorry, God, it hurts me to say because, he's been one of my favorite players. But even Trent Williams played like shit on Sunday. Has not been good this year. It's just over, man. Tay, what are you looking forward to this weekend?
There's a couple games. Cowboys, Commanders. I need the Commanders to shake back.
Yes.
For sure.
Can anybody explain to me what the fuck do you keep Trey Lance on your roster for if you're not playing him for the rest of the season at this point? You know what Cooper Rush is. You're not coming back. You might as well find out what you got. For real.
He'll play eventually.
Because the Cowboys offense isn't terrible. I mean, they don't have any running game, but they have decent skill players. They have a decent line. Let fucking Trey Lance play, man. Come on.
Yeah, I think he'll play in a couple weeks for sure. He'll definitely get some work. Yeah, I can guarantee you that. And then 49ers Packers, playoff rematch from last year. They say Lambeau this time. That's gonna be something I'm gonna watch. Honestly, that should have been the 8:30 game, or the Sunday night game over at Eagles and Rams.
Oh, I don't know if it should. I mean,
it should.
It should. I guess there's the aspect where the 49ers are fighting for their lives, but I think the Packers are gonna are gonna take belt to ass, and they're gonna fucking enjoy it. And like
they're the favorites. They're the favorites.
Yeah, they're at home. The Packers fans, like, hey, this is gonna be catharsis because the Niners have been beating the fuck out of them in the playoffs for years and years and years.
Yeah.
So what goes around comes around. Like, I think it's gonna be nasty business. Now there could be, an aspect where the Niners decide we're gonna wake up.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna wake up. Hey, we fucking need this to save our season. And what I expect to happen, because I've watched them every snap of the season, they're gonna give up at some point. They're gonna be like, start thinking about the fishing trip. Start booking that trip to Cancun that they all take. It's fucking over.
Yeah,
I can foresee it. What else?
Ravens and Chargers. That's a good Monday night game. I feel like the Ravens always play on prime time. They had to have had the most prime time game. Them and the Chiefs. It's rare to see them play at 1 o'clock. Well, they have another prime time game. That was against the Chargers. This is going to show me how good the Chargers were. Like, if the Chargers
go out, be a fucking legit game.
They scored 10 points. If they lose 38-10, like, I'm done. Like, I'm done.
Get them out of your face. Yeah.
Because right now I'm on the edge right now. I'm still a no on the Chargers, but if they don't compete in this game, then they're not one of them. They're not one of them teams. Outside of that, that's really it. That's really it. You'll have your random close game. I'm not really interested in the Thursday night game at all. Steelers Browns. I'm not all that, not into that game that much, but it'll be a solid week. It's a lot of the bad teams are playing the bad teams this week. But
it's a week. The week slate.
Still get some good games from that. So
yeah. Lee, what are you looking forward to this weekend? Oh no, we got somebody inside.
That Ravens Chargers Monday night game.
Okay. Yeah, for the prove it game for the Chargers.
Yeah, the Hallball Bowl. Another edition of it.
Yeah, I forgot. Did that ever happen before? I don't remember. I might have decided to repress that memory. It's
another primetime game, and I kind of expect Lamar Jackson to bounce back because when he's on like Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night is usually when he's at his best. So is that and the way the Chargers have been playing lately, that should be a good game. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, we here at DR Sports Media give you a lot to look forward to every single week. Me and True finally got together. We got a weekend wrestling. If that is your bag, please check that out. It's a good one. Some things that we predicted coming true, and also some things that we've been talking about for a long time, starting to happen now. As far as AEW moving to the smaller venues and things like that. College football this week is going to be an interesting pod. Some big matchups coming down. Some teams that we've kind of favorited throughout the season. A new CFP just got released while we were getting ready to record this show. We got some questions about that. Some things to address. I was told earlier on this season, we've all seen it so many times. Oh, this is college football is getting destroyed by NIL and in the playoff system and all that. Well, guess what? 10 million people watched number 7 against number 10 in fucking November last week. Last week, we had important games with playoff implications, everything on the line in every single time window of college football. Noon, 3:30, 7:30, 10:30. All of them had playoff implications on fucking November 16th. Never happened before. So we'll have a lot to say on college football coming up later on this week. We hope you guys tune in. And, of course, check out the Medium site. All of our very talented writers pumping out the DAR if you want to see the top 10 and see all the rankings associated with it. Check that out. The Medium site is crushing it every week. True's new album, Soul Revival 6, is out right now. It is fucking good shit. If you like Most Def, if you like Talib Kweli. Some of you are so young you don't even know some of the names I'm fucking saying right now. Go back and check out that turn of the century 99 2000 style rap. That's the kind of rap it is. If you're into that kind of stuff, definitely check it out. Soul Revival 6. It's on every streaming platform you can look at. We've got writing, we've got football, we've got combat sports, we've got music, and that is because the world of DAR never stops.